because I got to watch No Mercy after this.
Hey, everybody, we're here for the new episode of the RLG cast. I'm here with Putty. I'm here with JD. Their stuff will be in the description below. Check out their channels. And you know what? Subscribe to this channel because I could use the subscribers. And because yeah, we all could. But you like me because I'm cute.
You really like me.
And sassy. I'm the sassy one. Anyways, we're going to be talking about, I don't know, 90s comedies, I guess. And we're going to let Putty tell you about some of his stuff that he did today at the first day of Beer Fest Comic-Con.
Beer Fest Chemical Comic-Con.
Beer City Comic-Con. Anyways, it was yeah, we're gonna just jump right into this. So we're gonna start this off with Putty. Go ahead, Putty.
Oh, I thought you were actually doing a show about things, about animated things and movies and stuff.
No,
like that.
That's the one that we canceled, Putty. Thank you for paying attention.
Wow, that's so messed up.
Go ahead.
No, I like everyone been excited to find out. I went to my first con, like actual con. I actually did have a con prior called Fan Con that was really stupid, and I didn't consider that my first con. This actually looked like a con. It had people dressed up in good cosplay outfits. People actually coming from different parts of the state and other states. So, I mean, we didn't have many big people. The only person that I got excited about was Todd Langdon, the screenwriter for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1.
Yep, the greatest screenwriter.
Langdon Alger.
Shout out to Caps. If you see him, is he going to be there tomorrow?
And Todd found this channel. So Todd, if you're watching, thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, anyway, are you going to be there tomorrow?
Hey, Todd, if you're a wrestling fan, watch me.
Yeah, he's going to be there tomorrow. And he's going to
you need to tell Todd how much Caps likes the Ninja Turtles, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Ask Todd if he's a wrestling fan and search me up.
Yeah, you could search him up.
But I do have something as far as wrestling to show you guys as well. So when we get to that, we will get to that. But apparently there's a wrestling group in my area that actually does shows, and they're pretty cheap. And
is it the Micro Wrestling Federation?
No,
that's in Florida, isn't it?
I'm actually
no, it's Nashville, Tennessee.
Sorry, Putty, keep talking.
But anyway, I'll grab it in just a second and let you guys take over the floor from that. But yeah, it was really fun to see. I got a bunch of footage of different people in cosplay having some great conversations. Someone even took a picture when I shortly did a cosplay that ended up being terrible, but people thought it was funny. But once everyone else came in, I'm like, my looks like crap, you know what I mean, compared to everyone else's. Like people dressed up in Halo outfits. One person had a modified, by the way, this was the coolest thing, I got it on film. He made a Boba, well, I should say a Mandalorian helmet, but the bottom of the Mandalorian helmet was the Predator's mouth. And I was like, sick. Dude, that's sick. Like, I can't wait to show you guys that. So there was some great cosplay that was made. But then also at the same time, there was a lot. I noticed one thing, and I know I haven't been informed about this. A lot of people like to charge for autographs, a lot of money, because
that's all they do.
Yeah, they had both the voice actors, Casey Jones and Michelangelo from the 2003 Ninja Turtles, and they wanted to charge like $50 just for an autograph, then like $150 for like a book and an autograph or something like that. And Todd actually was doing things for free, even gives you a copy of the screenplay, and even signed it personally for you. So
hey, you got to get one for Caps, cool. Okay? You got to go back and get one for him.
Okay. But he is also but the thing is I enjoyed it because there was a lot of custom stuff that was there. I did get a Funko Pop, so there was a lot of and like the comic books were very scarce, and the ones I saw were like they were either trying to go really overpriced stuff, or didn't really want to, like they were just sticking with the Marvel, DC, or like independent, like nothing Image, nothing Dark Horse, no IDW stuff. It was just like either local stuff or the big hitters. But then a lot of custom stuff. Art is a big deal in our area, so that was a major thing.
You got to go to a con.
No,
yeah, the art section takes over half of it, and like it's no offense because a lot of the art is amazing, but like I'm not there for that.
See, whereas I do pick up that kind of stuff. I got this really cool.
A lot of people I go with do.
I got a couple cool pieces. I got One Punch Man, but he's Caillou from that little.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, and I got Bill and Ted sitting on top of the TARDIS instead of their phone booth.
Oh, that's actually amazing.
I've got to go get the thing, so I'll go grab the one. You guys already seen it, but I'll show it to them. I actually the one customer I got was like just perfect for me because it's Step Brothers mixed with two of my favorite comic book characters.
All right, I'll grab hold on. If you're gonna do this, shut off your camera because I don't want to see you with no pants on.
I have pants on, but I'll be right back.
Yeah, he's lying.
Yeah. He's lying. He's lying. I'm not wearing pants.
I realistically, I just don't want that light shining in my eyes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about things.
let's talk about things. Well, I mean, let's go on the. You were just at Fan Expo 2 here in the city. I missed it, but
The
when's the
worst
next one? It was the worst one, eh?
Not even close. Too many people, not enough vendors, not enough good vendors. Prices were jacked up.
Yeah.
The stuff that they had was like, I mean, obviously collecting at this point, it's like you got to find really specific things,
Yeah.
right? Because you have such massive collections. It's like, what are you getting really?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a graded Animal Man #1.
You'll get that.
Yeah.
You can get that on eBay right now.
Oh yeah.
It'll probably be cheaper than buying it at Fan Expo.
Of course,
Yeah.
the Blair's still there.
Oh, there's Putty.
There's Putty.
Anyway,
Yeah, but isn't the next one's in October here? There's one in October here or no? Did they move that one?
It's gone. So the
March,
next
then,
thing
Wizard World.
The next thing is Comic-Con.
Nice. This is just amazing
Yeah.
art. Step Brothers and Spread Me. It's just so amazing. That was the one thing I saw, but this is what I was talking about, guys. So I'm going to be going to this show, but this is the one that's coming up soonest. It's called Brawl of the Dead, and this is one of their wrestling events that they have. I don't know how it is yet. They said it's not.
What's the company?
So the company is called Pro Wrestling Hype and Devil's Spoot. All right, Devil's Spoot Beverage Co. What the hell?
It's you know
So
that
it's a
company.
division of Juggalo.
It's Juggalo Wrestling.
Is it really Juggalo Wrestling? Well, see,
No.
that's the name of this one. But here's the
No.
thing. This is the one I said I'd go to, and it's pretty cheap. They said it was like $12 for it. I'm like, okay, and it's anywhere you get to see it. But like, this is the one that they're coming up to October 27th.
Steve
I will
Urkel?
admit, yeah, right.
No, it's Stevie Wonder.
That, well,
Oh,
actually,
is it?
kind of. I thought it was actually like a Devon Dudley a little bit there for a second. But anyway, but no, I'm gonna go to it and see how it is for my first time. I may have to look them up first before I buy tickets just to be safe.
Stevie
But
Wonder in a lights
Nah,
out
what else
match.
are you gonna
But-
do? Just shut up and go.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So it's good that I found that because I feel like it's something I can get maybe some nice footage of. Hopefully, it's got some good talent because you never know that these might be leading into other people that might end up going into professional.
I mean, you're from a wrestling hotspot, so
Yeah. So
well, not
you never know.
from, but
The
you're
home of
in.
FTR.
Yes, exactly. So you never know
Guard
who
Troopers
might.
regenerated.
Yeah, just don't ever cut off Cash Wheeler in traffic.
So what's the thing called at Fan Expo with the stormtroopers?
Oh,
know what I'm talking about?
the what's it called? They call it everywhere. It's like the
501st.
407 501st. That's exactly it. Thank you.
Yeah, because there's an Ontario 501st as well.
There's one in Asheville as well.
When that's like when you see that at the con, you're like, holy crap! There's like 100 stormtroopers just walking through the building, and everyone moves out of the way for them so they could walk through.
It's funny you say that. Ours wasn't actually from. The one way I saw them wasn't in the con. It was actually a We're All concert. They were lined up at the We're All concert because they do, the Saga Begins and all that. And so when I was standing in line to get his autograph, they were standing there still like watching him. And I actually got to have a discussion like, I didn't know we had a 501st round. He goes, well, yeah, we do and everything. I'm like, oh man, I got to eventually be a part of that. Which if I do end up ever making a costume and getting down to it, I'm definitely going to ask about, signing up with it. But yeah, so I was excited just to know we even had that in our area. So
Hey, Putty went to a
cool.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, I did.
Good for you, Putty.
Awesome.
Get out and socialize.
And I advertised my new shirt too. So there you go.
Digital loads.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Shout out to the Jays for clinching a playoff spot.
Shout out to pimps because they don't cry.
Shout out to House of Torture with their new member.
Shout out to Putty because he's Putty.
I'm Putty.
I don't know. Are you doing something or can I continue?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to talk about some 90s comedies here because why not talk about 90s comedies? There's a current hot streak right now of female-led comedies this year. The Jennifer Lawrence one, whatever that's called. Then you have You're So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah with Adam Sandler's daughter. That was really funny.
New
Bottoms,
stuff. I don't know what that
Barbie.
is. Yeah.
You're talking. I'm talking. Theater Camp. There's just a lot of really good female-led comedies. Joyride this year, and I think the 90s is the peakest of peaks for comedy.
Yeah.
And like you look at the SNL based comedies, like for just to like get it going, right? Like Wayne's World 2. We've talked about these before. I think Wayne's World 2 is probably the best comedy sequel that ever is made, or it's at least up there.
There's also
I don't know. I got to throw Bogus Journey up there.
Yeah, your Bogus Journey's funny, but it's not as good as the first movie. It's funnier, but Wayne's World is the same thing.
Yeah,
True.
I agree.
I mean, Austin Powers 2 is also good.
Not a fan of Austin Powers at all.
I don't like you.
I
Well,
agree
you
with
could always
Campo
go
on
for the best SNL comedy sequel, which is Blues Brothers 2000. Technically not in the 90s.
No.
Night at the Roxbury.
Night at
That's
the
all right.
Roxbury. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
allow it.
that's-
Superstar is a banger. It's Pat, the greatest movie ever made. There's another one. It's Stewart Saves the World.
Stewart
Yeah.
Saves His Family, something like that. I
Yeah.
think Stewart Saves His Family, which I particularly did not like. It was probably the only one I would say out of the whole.
I don't like
Making-
it's Pat, but it's funny because Dave Foley's in it.
Well, I mean, but like Coneheads, I loved Coneheads. I thought
Coneheads
Coneheads was good.
Yeah.
What's the other one? We're missing one.
Ooh,
Ladies
Blues
Man.
Brothers.
Ladies Man.
Oh yeah, Ladies
Mm.
Man. Yep. Hmm.
Well, I like Ladies Man. I think Ladies Man's underrated.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
listen, it's not a bad movie. It's good. It's
Yeah, I
fine.
don't like what he said. The way he said it, I don't like the way he
fine.
said it. Well, we had a few other bangers out there.
In terms of like
I
SNL
don't know,
films
Putty
or just
distracts
90s?
me because he
I don't
says
know.
like really
that
funny
light
things.
is just
I
that
just had to
light
say-
is throwing me off, buddy.
I'm trying. I can't help it.
I don't care about the light. You just do you. The Austin Powers trilogy. I think the third one might have been the year 2000. I don't know how you don't like Austin Powers. Austin
I
Powers
don't
is
know. I just
hilarious.
it's not into.
Do you
Austin
like So I
Powers.
Married an Axe Murderer?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
It's pretty all right.
It's a good movie.
It's pretty all right.
I mean,
He likes the Love Guru. That's what he likes.
That's
Never-
past the year. That's past the 90s, my
never
guy.
watched it though.
What about Adam Sandler, the Sandman?
He went from
I think-
the good, bad, then good.
Like I mean,
don't know
like I
about
mean,
that.
you had Happy Gilmore and Billy
Billy
Madison,
Madison.
which are
Mhm.
peak
Yeah.
Adam Sandler.
That's as peak as it gets. And then
But-
you had Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Wedding Singer is his best movie. I
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But see, a
It's-
lot of people, I don't think a lot of people like Little Nicky, but I love Little Nicky.
think. I love Little Nicky too.
Yeah.
It's funny
my,
that one.
My druid's or my Necro's name is actually Little Nicky in Diablo.
Nice,
probably
nice,
think it was
nice.
fucking
Little
awesome.
Nicky had Rodney Dangerfield.
It has a cameo from Quentin Tarantino as a horny priest.
Yes.
And Ozzy Osbourne biting off a bat head.
Exactly. There you go. You're living it. Hitler with a pineapple in his butt.
Oh, all of them. They hit every note.
They heard ever no.
Every note.
Putty
every
had a
note.
stroke mid conversation.
Okay, but then let's stick with the SNL theme. You had Tommy Boy.
Yeah,
Black Sheep.
but
Black
those are
Sheep.
not official
Beverly Hills Ninja.
SNL movies.
No.
Those are all movies, but yes, you are correct. I think Black Sheep is arguably one of the most underrated comedies ever because
Mhm.
it's so much more funny than anything else that Chris Farley ever did, but it just never got recognition of anything. It kind of just faded away.
Yeah.
Which Almost Heroes, I don't know if that was still in the 90s.
98. One of my for some reason that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That movie just like screams Florida to me because I remember renting it at Blockbuster and like that was like the whole thing.
That's me and my brother Marco. That's us always
I
watching
love that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, but then
When he
gotta
gives him the
honor-
medicine.
We got to honor two people's deaths in one movie, and that's Dirty Work. Norm Macdonald and Chris Farley, both in that one. And if you don't like Dirty Work, you can't.
I
be my
was
friend.
worried you were about to say Artie Lang. Also, the dad.
Oh yeah, Artie Lang died too. Oh my crap!
Artie Lang
that's
didn't
the
die.
No, Artie
I
Lang's
thought
still
he
alive,
died.
dude.
Artie
who
Lang's
am I
still
thinking
alive.
of?
Don't worry. The dad died. He's a legendary comedian. Can't think of his freaking name right now.
Willard. Is it Fred Willard?
No, not Fred Willard. You could look it up if you want. Feel free. Anyone who wants, feel free. Just feel free. Dirty Work is another one of the movies I say is one of the most underrated movies. Norm Macdonald is the comedian's comedian. he's
best
like
weekend update host ever in my eyes.
okay.
Just
I'll allow
put
it.
out there.
He falls into a small group of people that are called the comedians, and they actually were all like best friends. Bob Saget, Norm Macdonald, Gilbert Gottfried, and they all Louis Anderson, and they all died
Yeah.
like within like a very short time of each other.
And each time I remember they all talked about each other's death, and then the next one would die. Because I remember Norm Macdonald talking about what's his name? Well, you stopped there. I was like about to say the
I
name.
thought you
of
were
the
about to say.
It was Don Rickles who played. Was it Don Rickles?
Well, no, you just said the name. The guy
Oh,
from
Don
Full House.
Rickles died too. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was talking about Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
that's
No,
exactly
Gilbert
what I saw.
Gottfried died last, I think.
No,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Norm Macdonald was talking about what's his name from Full House.
Bob
You just
Saget?
said it.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. Thank you. I remember when they were talking about Bob Saget, and Norm Macdonald was even talking about him, and then literally he died. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those things where it's just you want to say everyone's dying, but that was just a weird conglomerate of people dying that were very much associated with each other. That like I almost feel like I want to say it's like a conspiracy more than anything else, which I know it's not, but still, it just was a weird moment for all of them to die and everything. So
Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Ninja.
Jinja, yeah.
Mhm.
3 ninjas.
Jinja? Beverly Hills Jinja?
Beverly Hills Gaijin.
Nice. That's good. I like that. That's okay. You want another one that that people hate in the same vein? It's because it's a very similar movie to Almost Heroes, and people also hate Almost Heroes. Wagons East. I don't know why everyone hates Wagons East.
Is
but
that
I
the one with what's
freaking-
his name from Friends?
No, that's Almost Heroes.
That's Almost Heroes.
Oh yeah, never mind. Okay, sorry.
Wagons East is with not Lewis Black. Whatever that guy. Yeah, I think it is.
No,
And
Richard Lewis.
Richard Lewis and
Candy.
John Candy. And
I might not have seen this movie.
so dumb, and I think it's hilarious. It's about so everyone is going west for the gold rush, and for
Right.
some reason, all these people from California want to go east.
Go east.
So they're going the
To get away
opposite
from
way,
them.
and everyone's telling them like, "Don't go that way. You're an idiot." And like, I don't know. It's just so stupid and funny.
That is a silly movie. Just like was this the 90s as well? Canadian Bacon?
I think Canadian Bacon was in the 90s. Canadian Bacon's another one that not a lot of people like. That it grew like a cult following over time.
Yeah.
Strange Brew.
80s.
Strange Brew's 80s.
Oh yeah, it is 80s, isn't it?
But that's an SCTV movie, which
Yeah.
so was like
Same vein.
Well, see,
what did we say? Dangerous. What's it called? The one it's John Candy and the guy from American Pie, Eugene Levy, and they're cops.
Oh
my god, I'm not gonna freak out.
Well, why you guys are?
was it Deadly Companion?
No, it's Dangerous something.
Well, what you guys are trying to think of that? I do want to
Armed and Dangerous.
Armed and Dangerous.
Okay.
Dan
Yeah,
Aykroyd, I think, was in that too, wasn't he?
Spies Like Us. That's 80s.
Yeah.
Okay, go, Putty.
I know you guys are mentioning movies, but I want to go back to that because you guys mentioned something that I thought was very special. That a lot of people didn't have it in their area, and apparently it was only they only showed the reruns in my area. Was what you said, SCTV? Because the thing is, I know it's a Canadian show, but it felt like it was your guys' version of SNL. Am I right or wrong?
No, it was.
It was,
Yeah.
but it wasn't because it's Second City TV, which is a Chicago-based thing.
True,
But they were
yeah.
they were a Canadian group of comedians.
This was
that
more,
worked-
yeah. This was whereas SNL is more of a sketch comedy, I guess, kind of thing. Where SCTV is more.
It was like making fun of TV stations.
Yeah, it was more of a
right?
spoof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you had like you've seen it. It was like long running jokes. Like every episode would have a new episode of that spoof.
Yeah,
rather than like a
Joe
bunch of
Flaherty
random,
as the
yeah.
Count.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? I actually just thought of an idea of a tier list now. Well, and we'll get to that later.
Well, Joe Flaherty was American. He was
No,
the-
but I mean,
yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
Flaherty was on SCTV
Joe
though.
Flaherty, and there was one other of them was American.
Rick Moranis.
No, Rick Moranis is
He's
Canadian.
Canadian.
They're Rick Moranis, Martin Short.
Yeah.
Shout out to my dad. He put in carpets in Martin Short's house when he worked at the Bay.
Nice.
Carpets. That's the 80s for you.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now they're rolling them up in carpets and Only Murders in.
Yeah, that's true. Good show. Huge reference in that, by the way. They do a thing where they go. There's this like mega spoilers that it's not a spoiler at all. They go to they're trying to break into like City Hall, so they dress up in the only costumes they have. So Selena Gomez comes in like a bride's dress, and they're like, "Who are you?" She's like, "I'm getting married. I'm the bride." And then they're like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I'm the father of the bride." And Martin Short's like, "Nice."
The
But
father of the bride.
That's a banger
nice,
90s movie. That's
nice,
a banger song.
Yeah, nice little Easter egg. Cheaper by the dozen.
F that.
Was that 90s?
I don't think so, but
I think it was.
We've already left the 90s. There's no rules anymore here.
But we haven't even talked about Encino Man yet.
Okay, let's go full Pauly Shore here because he has 5
Biodome.
movies that are absolute bangers.
Biodome is one of the worst, best movies of all time.
Oh, for sure. In the Army Now.
Encino Man. In the Army Now. Bioman. Was
Bioman?
it
Son-in-law?
But do you say Bioman?
Okay.
Okay,
Biodome.
Start again.
Biodome. Encino Man. I messed that one up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Father-in-law, was it called? Son-in-law. Thank you.
Jury Duty.
Jury
and
Duty.
In the Army Now.
In the Army Now. That was the
string he had. Yeah.
And then it was just all over.
That's
a banger string, though. I love all of those movies.
Yeah.
In the Army Now is so good. There's like a really good grouping of like army based movies. Comedies.
Lori Petty was in that one.
Lori Petty is in that one. In the Army Now is really good. What's the Marlon Wayans one? That one's hilarious.
Major Pain.
Major Pain. That movie's so funny. Sergeant Bilko. Down Periscope.
With Frasier.
Renaissance Man with Danny DeVito, where he goes into like teach those young students. Like it was like 90s was like just the thing for military comedies. Like I
think those all kind of stemmed from the 80s from the Police Academy films. I think
kind of, yeah. It's like a mix of if you took the Police Academy formula and applied it to MASH.
Yeah.
I'll admit, sometimes even when I'm doing exercises, I'll sit there to myself, go, one, Toby. Toby.
How far do you make it?
To make your mind. Oh, I do pretty good now. Nowadays I do. But let's say like a couple months ago, no, I was like, get off your ass, Toby. Anyway,
I can't feel my legs. That's because they ain't there.
Oh my God.
Some of the comedy you could not do nowadays too. Now that I think about it, it's like, some of the dark stuff we grew up with that was so great. You cannot do
the little train that could.
Blank Man.
Blank Man.
Oh, Blank Man is one of my favorite movies. I watched that religiously.
Listen, shout out to the greatest superhero movie. That's the worst movie of all time, featuring Sinbad, and that's Meteor Man. I rented that from Blockbuster so many times. Shazam doesn't exist.
How about Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your juice in the hood?
Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood? Of course, that's one of the best spoof comedies of all time that reinvigorated the genre because Naked Gun at that point had slowed down. I think he was with Living Dangerously or Die Hard, not Die Hard.
No, it's Spy Hard because believe me, I know Spy Hard because of the Weird Al intro.
Spy Hard was like the worst one of all of them.
Except for the intro. The intro
Wrongfully Accused, I thought was fun.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Oh my God. Then we got Scary Movie in I think 99. Yeah. And that was like another whole shot in the arm. The Wayans brothers did some good things.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you want to stick with 90s comedy and stick in there, you got to talk about Friday.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true because Friday's a banger. Rush Hour. The first Rush Hour came out in the 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
Man,
Jackie Chan in general could have a lot of comedies.
Who?
Jackie Chan in general, even though he does martial arts movie, had a lot of good.
His 90s stuff is very comedy heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
He had this like wave where in the late 80s it transitioned from like he was making really kung fu-ish movies, like based in like lore, and then it kind of changed to like he made so he made the Police Stories, and then it got to like Police Story 3 Super Cop. And then at that point he did City Hunter and Mr. Nice Guy, Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah. That's really what launched his North American like career was Rumble in the Bronx.
Rumble in the Bronx, yeah.
For sure. And I don't know, he had a couple other at that time. And he was doing really well. He did Rush Hour and then
The Suit.
That's where the Tuxedo, that's like when it all started to get weird. Tuxedo, Accidental Spy, and it's like I do Jackie Chan. I know my Jackie Chan. Yeah, no, you can't beat Prime Jennifer Love Hewitt, but you can't watch that movie.
I'm just watching for her. Well, I guess you can't hardly wait for that one instead, but you know what I mean.
I hope Todd McFarlane, your friend who wrote Ninja Turtles, watches
Todd
McFarlane. And here's you say
that. Wrong comic book turned into movie thing. Yeah.
By
I
the
don't
way,
know how you
I was like moving stuff around today, and I opened a box of comics, and I was like, oh, I had a lot of comics in bags because I got to the point where I was going on Wednesdays, pre-ordering what I wanted for Wednesday, and so they were bagged and boarded when I got there. So they would already be in a bag. So I was just taking the bag, coming home, taking the whole bag, shoving it in my box, closing the lid. I wasn't even looking at them. He could have ripped me off. Okay. I opened one of the bags and I had Spawn 300, Spawn 300, Spawn 300, Spawn 300, Spawn 300, Spawn 300, every cover. I was like, okay. I opened the next bag, Spawn 300, Spawn 300, Spawn 300. I bought doubles. I did it myself. Must have ordered doubles of every single cover. So I have literally Spawn 300 every cover and then Spawn 300 every
cover. Nice.
Which is,
So, yeah.
Speaking of comics, I actually didn't realize it. I can't think of his name now, but one of the artists for The Last Ronin was actually at Comic-Con, and he was at the screening too tonight. So he said he's going. I saw him, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know you did. I didn't know you were here. And so he told me he would actually sign my book. So I'm taking my Last Ronin to get signed by the artist. So
nice,
I'm very
nice,
excited
nice.
about that. Yeah.
How much is he charging?
I don't know if he's going to charge me or not, because I talked about that with him and everything. And I
That's
don't
like even when one of the ones I went to, Chris Claremont didn't charge anything for.
Hold on. This guy just said the guy who did The Last Ronin. No offense, I can't think off the top of my head.
Yeah,
you just said Chris Claremont didn't charge you.
No,
Chris Claremont, the guy who literally invented Wolverine, basically,
did not charge me.
Wow.
He did a panel and I asked for an autograph and he signed my comic.
The guy who wrote the Wolverine storyline.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The guy who wrote the best X-Men storylines.
Yeah. He signed my copy of, I think it's X-Men 300 or Uncanny X-Men 3. Yeah.
That's amazing.
The foil cover one.
That's sick. That's absolutely sick. Disgusting.
Yeah. It was in a small room at the Niagara Comic Con. He was doing a small panel. I said, can you sign my X-Men comic? He's like, yeah. He goes, you coming back tomorrow? I'm like, yes. Okay.
That's amazing. Like, why don't I ever get luck like that? I got Richard Comley, the guy who created, I said this story already, but the guy who created Captain Canuck, which is like a pretty legendary Canadian
one, yeah.
He's probably the biggest Canadian, like not a Canadian, like made in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Spawn kind of is because Todd McFarlane is Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah.
But anyways, digressing. And like he was really cheap, and I just stood there with him. Like I was just talking to him, and like he signed. I bought like 3 comics for like $40 signed.
Yeah.
And he gives you the comic too. Usually you have to bring your own stuff. And then he just kept signing comics. So I have like 6 signed comics from him. But yeah, he's a really nice guy. That's the only like really good experience I think I had for something like that. There was the one guy, I'll never remember his name. And he's written everything. He died recently. Neil Adams. Yeah, and he was there one year, and me and Anthony were like talking to him for a while. But he was kind of expensive. He was $50 an autograph.
Yeah.
But he was like just talking to us forever because he was so baffled that I picked the Batman and Ninja Turtles cover for him to sign, because he's like, of all the things you picked this. I'm like, Batman and Ninja Turtles, like that's the coolest thing ever. Why wouldn't I pick that? He's
it's like pretzels and gum.
Yeah, but he's like, well, because all the other comics I have are like legendary titles.
Yeah,
because
they're hard to come by. Yeah,
I think Anthony picked Spider-Man, his Spider-Man one.
Yeah,
or something like that. And I was like, but I'm like,
no, Batman Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. Like, you know,
I
and
would
he
have
was
probably
like,
done the
okay.
same thing too.
He's like, okay, because I think Anthony got a Batman one and a Ninja Turtles one and a Superman one or a Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, I think, or something like that. And I just got that one.
The Batman Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. But at that point, I was probably in the hole. And then I found another box today. Like, we're way off. You know what? This episode's about whatever. Who gives a shit?
It's a random episode.
Well, every episode is now. It's way better. I don't like it when we have topics.
No, structure doesn't work.
And the movie news is really stale lately.
Yeah.
But I was opening the box and I was like, it's the stuff from like 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, because 3 years ago I bought all the Deadpool I bought all the Daredevil stuff, the Frank Miller stuff. So it was like 2 years ago, and I had X-Force #1, this newsstand edition in the bag. I had the silver cover of Spider-Man #1, Todd McFarlane.
Nice.
I had the newsstand in the bag #1. I had just like I found all these comments. I had the Deadpool issue or X-Force issue where Deadpool first meets Domino, the first appearance of Domino.
Nice.
Ooh.
I had Deadpool #1 to Circle Chase 1 to 4. All like I didn't even know I had that because I bought Circle Chase graded. Right. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, but then I had Circle Chase 1 to 4. I had Sabretooth #1, which is the one with the same cover. Just a bunch of shit. I really need to
Yeah.
get a Gambit #1.
I got to go through mine too because I know like I have a lot of good stuff from the early to mid 90s. I know I have Wolverine 100, the foil
But
edition.
you're a buyer hanger oner who had that stuff, right? So
Yeah.
all my shit that I have is like me buying it now. So it's like
Yeah.
hard to get the stuff you have because it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
All the stuff I have that's #1s, I have like a lot of 1s and 50s and 100s, but it's all the
Yeah.
modern renumbering of things.
The reprints, I guess.
No, but
It's
it's
funny you
not
said-
reprints, but it's like the new 52 100
Yeah.
of Batman. So it's not even really Batman 100, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that too because I feel like I'm a mixture because I have a bunch of old comics. Like I lost a bunch of my stuff, but I had all my box, but then I had a few that were like in another box I forgot, so I ended up keeping those and losing the other ones. But then I started rebuilding my collection and buying like series because I was doing the Fortnite stuff and so I was adding stuff, which then branched off to other issues that had variant covers of stuff from the past.
See,
And so,
I have the entire run still, the original run of Age of Apocalypse. Each individual issue. I have
don't have
Alpha,
those anymore.
Omega with the foil covers.
The
JD, if you
only
ever
thing
wanna
I
give-
have of that is I
JD.
have Batman 1 to like 100 in the
I'm
new
just
52.
I'm just saying, JD, if you ever want to give me a birthday present, I'm just saying, right?
No,
not
those
getting
aren't
it.
leaving. Those are not. The Age of Apocalypse is not leaving my possession. I have the entire run of the original Scarlet Spider when Ben Reilly first took over. So I have Web of Scarlet Spider #0, Spectacular Scarlet Spider #0. I have all that run from the original Clone Saga. What else do I have? Remember, Campo might remember this, back in the early 90s when Spider-Man did like their first, when Web of Spider-Man first launched, they had each issue of Spider-Man had a different color cover, red and green and black with the foil in the middle. I still have the original of those as well.
I have one of them. I bought one. Oh, Putty's dead.
Yeah, Putty died.
But yeah,
he died when I told him I have the original Age of Apocalypse
Anthony
run.
bought a bunch of them once. We were just digging through boxes at somewhere, and they were all like $3 to like $15 range in the box. So I'm pretty sure he bought every one of the covers for that.
Yeah,
because it was just a little tiny picture, and then the cover's like shiny.
And I think I have the black and white cover, not the silver one, but the black and white cover, the black and silver cover of the Todd McFarlane.
That's
Spider-Man.
what I have, black and silver, and I
but
have
not the foil though. Not the foil. The gloss cover.
One. Yeah, the gloss cover. That's what I have.
Yeah.
The foil one is expensive.
Yeah.
I almost bought the gold one.
There's the red foil one too. That red foil one's expensive.
The gold one is the most expensive one.
Yeah.
It's like
a couple thousand.
Yeah, it's not when I saw it, it was like a couple hundred. Because the silver one cost me a lot of money. The silver one was like, I think $50.
Yeah, I paid 25 or something.
Yeah, the newsstand for me was like 25.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a compromise. Gambit and externals, I'll take those.
Nope.
That's what you got up to tell us?
No. I had to get something to drink and everything. My mouth is dry.
Yeah, I need Gambit #1. That's like on my hit list.
Yeah, I'm like I told you off camera too. I'm looking for I want something obscure. Like I want Animal Man #1 graded. Like I want
Grant Morrison Animal Man #1 or Jeff Lemire Animal #1.
No, Grant, either one. I'll be happy with either.
Well, you guys probably know what I want. There's literally 2 comics I would love to have back in my old age, but they're old, but they're way too expensive for me to ever get them anyway. So
get yourself a Circle Chase #1 graded.
I could get
or
that,
get yourself an actual Deadpool #1 graded, because that will be cheaper than Circle Chase.
Well, yeah, but you know me, I would love to get a New Mutants 98, but yeah, good luck on that one. That's gonna cost me
if you're willing to. If you take it raw, you'll get a good deal.
Oh, really? Okay.
Get one that's not like nowadays. If you go to comic conventions,
if you get a 6, you shouldn't like a 6.5, which is still decent.
No, you could do like a 7. You could do an 8 probably. But if you get one raw, that you go there, they'll nowadays, like I said, at the Comic Cons, they'll have a sticker on it that will tell you what they think it's going to grade at. So it will say like, get one that's not very fine, get one that's fine, that's like 8.5 on ungraded, because it saves you money not being graded too. It'll probably be like, it probably won't be that bad. Because Anthony bought a first appearance Secret Wars, the black suit, but he bought it, I'm pretty sure, I'll check it after, but he bought it raw, I believe, and it was like $250, and it's like, the guy's like, this would, I promise you, if you grade this, it will get like a 9.2. And then they had like a 9.2 on the wall, and it was like $650.
No, remember when we went, I bought that Doctor Who #1.
Yeah,
I got it appraised. It was appraised, I think, at a 7.8. So I'm thinking of having it graded and pressed.
Which makes me wonder, with the whole acquisition with Star Wars and then Marvel and with Disney, how much is that? I'm not talking about the new run. How much is that original Star Wars Marvel comic probably worth right now?
The Marvel or the Dark Horse? Because I think the Dark Horse is worth more.
Really?
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I get Dark Horse was better when it came to, I feel they did way better when it came to the Star Wars comics, but to like with them Marvel having it now, you would think that #1 Marvel Star Wars would like be like jump up.
Yeah, I think the Dark Horse stuff is a little bit more rare.
Wow. Okay. Well,
because you can go into like any random comic shop and still find random issues of that Star Wars Marvel, but it's harder to find specific issues of the Dark Horse stuff.
Wow, that's actually shocking to me. You'd think the Marvel ones would be more rare because you weren't really like. Well, I guess there were a lot more people.
No, because when the Marvel series came out, Star Wars was at peak popularity,
which means a lot of people had it. Then makes sense now. Okay.
Anyway, so you said what were you looking for? Like an Animal Man #1?
Yeah, like an Animal Man or a Swamp Thing.
I'd like to get a Ghost in the Shell #1. Graded, but the thing I don't like about it is it's like a small comic. It's like a mini one, so it looks awkward in the case. Because like I have an Akira #1, the American one, the first colorized version, which is cost me a lot of money.
I'll say one thing I would love to have again. I had the first 30 issues of this comic, and everyone told me it wouldn't be worth anything, but then it got in the Guinness Book of World Records, and the price of the first 30 issues went up, and I had like the first 50 issues. I was collecting addictively, even carding and bagging them, and people were like, "This ain't gonna be worth nothing." And that is the original run of Sonic the Hedgehog. Those first 30 issues apparently are worth a lot of money, and it was not. They did go serious later on, but those first 30 issues is where they rarely had that like goofy. They did a lot more of the satirical version, and then later it changed into what was the Sonic Adventures show that was on the other thing, and because of it getting that popularity because of the Guinness Book of Records, and you're like, oh, this is actually good. Those first 30 issues, I was so mad that I didn't, and I'm like so mad I didn't keep it because my friends were like, dude, it's not gonna worth anything. Trade them in and get something else. And I'm like, I literally loved them to death. But I listened to everyone else, and I'm kicking myself to this day. So yes, I would love to have those first 30 issues if I can get them back.
What did you trade them in for?
I remember I trained a bunch of X-Men stuff,
like Magic Beans.
No, it was a bunch of like different other X-Men comic books or anything. And I think it was actually around the Age of Apocalypse. That's why I was wanting to get all those. So I was collecting them, and my mom wouldn't buy me every single variant. You know what I mean? So I was taking other issues, not even just Sonic. It was other stuff. My friends were like, "Dude, trade them to Sonic. They're not. I don't know why you
such a
collect
90's thing. Like I nowadays there's two kinds of people I find. There's the scalpers, and then there's like collectors. There's PC people. A video surfaced the other day of this guy asking a kid, like, why do you want this card? He's like, is it for your PC? He's like, I don't have a PC. And the guy's like, that's how you know a real collector. I'm like, that's not a collector. If you sell everything you're buying, you're a store, you're no longer a collector. You're not part of the hobby. You're the reason the hobby sucks. But in the 90's, there was two kinds of people. There was people that bought and collected and held, and there was people that traded everything in. My friends used to buy games, consoles and shit, and then immediately when something new came out, trade in all their games for that new game without any care that they even did that.
See, like with comics, with games, that was me. I held on to everything.
Yeah,
like I said, behind there's a closet in here. I have my PS2, I have my Dreamcast, I have my Saturn, I have all the games that I still
And he
have.
has a lot of Saturn games.
Yeah.
see,
They
that
used to be
that-
stacked up on the wall. Like,
You
he has
remember
a
that,
lot.
eh?
But I want to give you guys comparison on things in life and everything. You have to understand, I would go with my friends, and my friends would have all this extra income to be
Yes,
able to
but
throw out
you
comics.
didn't need to trade in your thing. And I'm also not complaining about you.
No.
I'm saying
I
the
know.
90s were a different time. Nowadays, there's like collectors and sellers. Before, there wasn't really sellers. The people who were selling were legitimate stores, right?
Yeah,
There was people that were like hardcore collectors, and there was trade-in people. And it was like all of my friends were trading people, and I was never that guy. I
Well,
still
see,
to this
never a
day, if you
trading
could
guy.
tell, I just have like mountains of shit.
But I
So
wanna make sure-
I
I
have
wanna
an
make sure-
original PS1 copy of Persona 2.
That's sick.
See, I just want to make sure to put it out there because the thing is, I always felt like I
Yeah,
was a
you
collector.
can put it out there. You're a piece
Yeah.
of shit. We get it.
Well, no, but you have to understand, when you go with your friends to go collect comics and they're getting all these new issues that you don't get to read, and they're like, no, I'm not going to let you read it. Go get your own issue. You know what I mean? It was one of those things where it's
I've
like,
never
what do
read
I
a
do?
comic in my life.
Really?
I'm the
Oh, I-
worst kind of collector. I don't
Yeah,
touch anything.
See, the thing is, I will read it one time, put it back, and never touch it again. And that's the
If
way
I want to
always
read
do
it, I'll buy it online, or I'll buy the
Yeah, well,
collected
The
issue.
trade.
Hey, did you know there used to be a thing where you couldn't do that? You had to actually buy the comic and read it. They didn't have
Hey,
digital
I didn't
versions.
freaking read it.
The first
But anyway.
trade I ever bought, which I still have, was when they released Batman Death in the Family as a trade.
That's what.
Really? You know what's funny? Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. We
Not
dig
Death
into
of the Family, Death in the Family, where they
Death
killed
in the
Jason
Family.
Todd.
Yes. Death of the Family is far better.
I voted.
Death in the Family is one of those like legendary storylines. It tells you this whole
It's not very
arc.
good, but it's
It's-
legendary.
No.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It is.
Jesus. Like I was so excited. So like I'm
It's all
that-
about Batman with PTSD.
Yeah, and it's just not good. It's just not. It's really poorly written. It reminds me of like the Frank Miller like crunchy, stupid words that he uses. Anyway, so I'm like second biggest character. I love Nightwing. I love Robin. I was like, oh, so what did I do? I saw them popping up. They started re-releasing them in collected issues, like not hardcover, because the best stuff you want hardcover, you'll never get hardcover.
No.
Robin, the first Robin comics, I was like, oh, I'm getting this. Gotta get it. Nightwing, first Nightwing, gotta get it, bro. Read those. God damn, they suck. Like reading the Jason Todd Robin is like
It
I
was
wanted
bad.
to rip my eyeballs out of my head.
And hence the reason why they killed him off.
It's like so bad. And then, but even then, the Tim Drake Robin next was not very good to read in the like his.
Tim
comic.
Drake's Robin didn't really take off until he joined the Titans.
Yes, and it's not the characters bad; it's the comic
Poor-
was bad.
It was the poor writing, yeah.
When they had him with Batman, it's good.
Just
but
like
like-
I'm not a fan of Damian Wayne.
I love Damian Wayne only in the New 52 run. The Batman and Robin run in New 52 is
Okay, yeah,
solid, and
that one
Batman
was good.
Incorporated when he dies is like really well done. Which I have that graded. I got that graded 9.8 with the R, and it says RIP, and it has the Robin R.
Nice.
Right away I bought. That's the first graded comic I bought. I'm like, I have to buy it. I went on the auction site, My Comics List or whatever,
Nice.
which is like one of the really good sites.
Would that set you back?
Not much. I want to say like 60 American.
Oh, that's
Because
not
it
bad
was
at all.
brand new, right? It
Yeah.
just came out. So getting a 9.8 was not hard. I was like, boom,
No.
bought it.
There you go. There you go.
And at that point, we were not in the
That
boom of,
yeah.
that we are now of comics and cards where it's like, good luck getting anything.
Yeah. Like some of those first run Pokemon cards that I have. Who knew that they were going to be worth so much money?
It's just, you know, it's a really strange landscape we're in. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so I was talking to people
Yeah.
about this because like a lot of people I know crack packs of anything. Like I just bought One Piece cards and shit, and I don't even like One Piece. It's just, but the art is really nice and whatever. People really love Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's fine. I'm glad you love it. But like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the oddest things to me because there's so little amount of cards that are actually valuable.
Yeah.
In, like every set that comes out every like 2 months when they release a new set, there's one valuable card and the rest of it's like completely worthless.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And the chances of hitting that grail are slim and none.
yeah, even their main grails like Exodia and Blue Eyes or Red Eyes, whichever dragon is the
Yeah.
one that's worth more, it's not even worth that much.
I think it's Red Eyes, but yeah.
See, I have a stigma because when it comes to card games and all that kind of stuff, because I'm a diehard
You're a diehard?
diehard Magic the Gathering fan. Whenever I look at Yu-Gi-Oh Pokemon, I just look at it as like a cute little kids things. Like I don't know why. I guess that's that mentality that of a Magic player that you think, oh, you're better because
if you get any,
got my foil Venusaur.
is that a Series 2 base set Series 2?
Yeah. Mewtwo.
You need to get freaking grade those. Are those in hard plastic?
Yeah. What do I have? Oh, here.
Send those in for grading.
Dark Flareon.
This is so
Alakazam?
odd. I don't know where he just pulled these cards out of, but he just
yeah, I
did.
know I remember where.
Zapdos.
Is that Team Rocket Zapdos?
No, I got the Team Rocket Moltres.
Nice. I have a Team Rocket like Gyarados, I think.
Yeah. And I got this is the Rocket foil Zapdos.
Yeah, that's sexy.
And Surge's Electabuzz.
Oh, that's really nice. The new set is really nice. The 151 that has some of the best art. Anyways, Putty.
Yeah, I keep my hard plastic Pokemon cards in my desk close to my
I
heart.
keep my hard plastic in my pocket. Just going with credit cards. Putty. Anyways, if you want to pull out like a Black Lotus right now or some Mox Gems, I'll hold on to it for you.
Yeah, Black Lotus. For people don't know, that's like the rarest and most expensive card you can get. It's from the first run, of course, but like most expensive. And see, I was one of those people that played in tournaments just because I wanted to get DCI cards and everything, and so that became an obsession as well. Because you're like, oh, I got cards that you don't have because you haven't played in tournament play kind of situation. So I that was another reason why I felt so special. But it was always one of those things where you find a Yu-Gi-Oh player where they was like, oh, let me show you Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh yeah, this is cool, and I can play it. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and I'm like, now I'll show you Magic, and they could not understand the rules because there's way too many rules in Magic the Gathering.
Oh yeah,
compared to Yu-Gi-Oh and everything, MTG just like blows out the world. It's actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most complicated game. This is beating out even like Trivial Pursuit.
I don't know.
Like
Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty darn stupid.
Yeah, but I'm saying
no, the Digimon game was pretty weird.
I loved that game. Look, I got a Glaceon VX Triple Mega Ultra. You can't even see it.
Yeah,
I have a Bear City.
He does. It's true. Can't deny it.
I have a Gandalf. You guys don't have it. Where are you gonna get yours, huh? Where are you getting yours? Nowhere.
Here for the people. So, anyways, Putty, you were pretty big into Magic.
Well, yeah.
JD, I'm surprised you weren't big into Magic.
No, I've always have and always will be a D&D player.
Did you actually like really play D&D?
Yeah, I still got I still got my 3rd and 4th editions downstairs.
For me, growing up, it was like the weird spot between Magic and Pokemon, where it was like Marvel Overpower.
Yes, I remember.
I remember that too. Yeah,
where there was like we did a lot of that.
But Marvel Overpower, the only reason why I did jump into it is because I was already playing card games, and when they brought out a Marvel card game, I was like, "Oh, this is over. I got to play it." It was kind of like the D&D, which going back to D&D, they had a Marvel D&D, but it was only one book.
It's upside down.
Nice, yeah, it's upside down. Speaking of Austin Powers, yeah, baby.
Austin Powers, the card game. You guys want to play?
Yeah, sure, virtually.
This is a starter pack. I have like 6 of these sealed.
But
nice.
That was the great thing about, and I miss those runs where we like every Friday we go and play Friday Night Magic, and then they'd have tournaments, things of that nature, and then me and my friends.
For us, Friday Night Magic was at the House in Lancaster.
Wow.
Oh really? And then
Campo doesn't get it.
No, I get it.
It's a strip club.
Oh, okay.
So it's a adult ballet facility.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Putty, finish your freaking thing.
But the one thing I want to point out was I love the tournaments. My favorite thing was draft tournaments, and I don't know if people know what these are, but basically they would give you a certain amount of packs, and what you would have to do is you would open up a pack, take one card out of it, and then pass the pack to the next person, and then they would pick a card, and you keep rotating the cards until you end, and then everyone opens another pack, and you do it basically until you create your own deck out of those cards. Then what you have to do is actually compete in a tournament for those cards.
Could you imagine doing that? You're like, yo, put these cards, oh, Black Lotus, whatever, put it in a little sleeve, don't play it.
what would happen is a lot of people would be like they would go
Yes,
like,
just
okay,
cat.
my first
well
draw was
played.
like a big elf card that controls elves or makes elves. Then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna start looking for elves. So what they would do is as they're drafting, they're looking for those cards. But then it sucks because you
It's
go
like,
open
oh,
up and you
Mox
go,
Ruby.
you see one card and you go, that would go my elf card. Then you see the last card and you go, no, and it's a card you want in your collection. But you're like, it's not gonna work in the draft. What am I
But
gonna
he's like,
do?
no, it's a Mox Emerald.
John Moxley.
I don't
But
want
that's
this.
that was the point. That's what made that so fun because you would be like, you have to be smart. Do you want to pick a
Yeah.
card based on what's going to help you with your deck, or pick a card because it's like awesome for another deck for another tournament? And it was such a great way to play these things because you could get very lucky and get some great cards and then compete and then win all the prizes because they would end up giving you like a ton of cards and some money. So it's like it was one of those things. Should I play for? I'm going to play this to get good cards for keeps, or am I going to play to? And see, people will be smart. They'd be like, okay, if I know this is worth a lot of money, I'm just going to say screw it and say I'm going to take the card and lose my draft game today because then I can go and sell that card and get more I would with that card than I would winning the tournament. So it was always a mind game of do you know your prices and do you know how to work it? And that's why we loved playing it because if we knew a card was very valuable, then we knew I'm taking out the deck. If it's a foil, I'm definitely taking out the deck, and I'm just going to take a loss and say, hey, I might not win this tournament now, you know? So, but that's why I like Magic. I like
like I said, for me, and I think that's why too, when it came out a few months ago, I took to Baldur's Gate so quick is because I played the 5th edition of D&D, and it's exactly like playing the 5th edition.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
He was a Stranger Things kid.
I really was. I was a strange kid. Campo can attest to that.
Stranger Things kid.
I was just a strange kid in general.
There were some baggy jeans.
We didn't have Jinkos here, but
you know what? Thank God. Thank God nobody got to wear Jenkos.
Actually, no, I never wore the baggy jeans. I always wore the skinny jeans.
You're a skinny jean. Anyways, you know what game I always wanted to play because I started buying it during COVID. Started buying it during COVID because I just bought a lot of weird shit. But I bought boxes. I started buying boosters and boosters and boosters of it. And it's like the most confusing game I've ever seen in my life. It's the Star Trek card game. Holy crap, man. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Okay, that just means
he's holding up a finger.
JD, there was also a Star Wars card game.
Yeah, I remember the Star Wars.
You could buy them now. They're not that expensive.
What was the name of it, though? I can't remember what it was called.
I
know I had cards for it, but I can't remember because I remember distinctly
I was gonna buy boxes, but the guy that I was buying boxes off kept selling out.
It's gonna kill me until I hear the name of it. And I remember distinctly seeing the circle numbers in the corner and each character.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now.
I love how we all pause just to look something up.
It's done by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why I learned about it because what happened was, again, whenever I would go to play Magic, they would advertise any of their other products. And of course, guess who owns Magic? Wizards of the Coast. So I knew about Star Wars and I was like, oh man, but I couldn't remember the name of it. Oh,
I think it was just called the Star Wars trading card game. TCG, yeah.
I didn't think it was that simplistic. I thought there was like a special name to it. I could be wrong, but I really thought in my head there was. Oh, nice. Star Trek.
Nice, Enterprise C. Nice. That's the best card in this whole set, and it's only worth like $10. Of this box.
Season 2 of Strange New Worlds is really good.
I didn't watch it yet.
It's really good. Really good.
Don't tell
I still need to finish this.
No. And was it Lower? I love Lower Decks. That show's so funny.
Lower Decks is really good.
Actually, I'll probably be able to catch up on a lot of stuff this week. And yes, because I'm not going to the gym this week, as far as like, I'm still going to do my walking each day, but I'm not going to the gym this week because
that's it. He's done, guys. It's over.
No, I'm not done. No.
Wrap it up.
Anyway, I will be catching up on Ahsoka, but I'm going to be there for Loki, and I'm going to have to because everyone's saying if they do drop any Easter eggs for the whole Deadpool thing, not actual Deadpool, I'm just saying Easter eggs. I don't want to miss out on that. So
I don't think they will.
I mean, there's some of my big YouTubers I like Merchie Awesome. He's really huge when it comes to like all the pop culture TV shows and movies. And
but he's also wrong a lot of the times.
Yeah, I also haven't watched him for a really long time. I forgot he even existed. No, but you know why? Because a lot of his theories are not him coming up with things. He's just literally taking what he heard them talking about and then just telling you it.
Yeah,
in a way that's like royalty free. It's like his way of sharing the news, kind of, right? So a lot of times people think, oh, he's like making this thing and then it's wrong. No, he's just literally telling you what somebody else said.
Somebody else said in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't mean it like he's stealing. I mean, like, he's not the one that's actually wrong. He's just
reading the news. Yeah. He's telling you.
No, I get that. I get that. But I'm saying I'm hoping he's right. That's why I want to go back, because it dawned on me. I didn't wake up early for Ahsoka to do my reviews and everything. I said I'm just going to do it on one lump. But they're right. If he drops something Deadpool and for me to miss it, I'm going to freak out myself anyway. You know what I mean?
You won't. I feel like this is I don't think there'll be anything Deadpool and Loki.
There might not be, but I mean,
that's just me personally. I don't think there will be.
Or you could just watch it
and enjoy it, and that's it.
Either way, you know me, I'm excited for what's to come, and I met a Deadpool cosplayer today, and he's actually a professional one, so I was pretty excited about that too.
What is he? What division is he in? He's a WWE pro cosplayer wrestler. I didn't know there was such thing as a pro cosplay.
Well, no, apparently because he showed me his book and everything, and there's a lot of people in this like really fancy book. One of the guys that's a cosplayer that run this magazine, like this book that they send out to people, he's like huge in the States when it comes to cosplay. And so he was showing me all the stuff, and I said, and his online name is called Johnny 5. And I don't know if people know who he is or not. Yeah, well, actually, asked him about that.
Johnny 5 is alive.
We talked about that. Nice. He was like, that's why he used the reference, because of like there were so many things that his name and everything.
Kick your face. Los locos kick your balls into.
He explained it, but I'm not going to go into detail about it. But he explained it, and it made sense to me why he calls himself that. Okay,
hold on.
But
is Steve Gutenberg in that?
He's in the first one, yes.
In the first one, okay. I
couldn't remember. Stevens is in both.
Fisher Stevens is in both.
Which isn't he? Wasn't he painted? Like
he wore brown face. Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And I was like, oh, it's so cringe. I want to go back and look at it.
80s.
Yes.
Ugh, slow cringe.
Slow cringe. Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, thank you for watching this episode, because we're done this episode.
I think so.
We don't need to talk about Johnny 5 anymore.
We've talked too much about Johnny 5. Filmed right here in Toronto.
It was just like almost every other movie. Thanks, Putty, I guess.
Yeah, you're welcome.